Probably the first and most important thing you are asking yourself when you start freelancing or you're thinking about starting to freelance is how am I gonna start finding clients, how to look for clients. So this is actually the question that I've been asked the most. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Todoroff. I'm a motion designer and videographer, and I create videos here on YouTube where I teach you how to become a freelancer, a better freelancer, or studio agency owner if you're interested in that. So how to find clients as a freelancer. There are different ways to do it, obviously. I'm gonna give you the tip that I used the most and that I'm still using, and it's actually the most profitable for me, and I'm not spending any money on it. So the tip is word of mouth. Right now I'm 5-6 years into freelancing. I started in 2017. I wanted to be available to work on bigger projects from the beginning because I knew people who are working in the field who are very good. So I knew that if I have a bigger project, if I get it, then I'll be able to hire some of my friends and some of the people I know, and they're going to be able to help me. So I figured that it's going to be better to position myself as a business, even though I was a freelancer. And I still do this from time to time. So it's if it's a bigger project, I'm going to position myself as a business. If it's a smaller project, I'm a freelancer. I don't care. So if you want to use this technique, it's fine. It works. But anyway, back to the word of mouth. So how I did it in the start. So as I said, I started in 2017. The way to start with word of mouth is to be extremely annoying. You have to tell everybody you know what you're doing. So if you're a graphic designer, motion designer, web designer, a videographer, or whatever else, just think of something, whatever you are, you have to tell everybody what you're doing. Probably start from your inner circle. So you have to tell all your friends and all your family. And depending on what your friends or family are working, they're probably working in a company, and they might be working in a bigger company or a smaller company, but pretty much every company needs videos or some sort of design. So you're gonna be able to find work through them. So what my point here is that you have to think about what your current assets are. So if you have a friend who works in a company that it's pretty close to what you're interested in. So for example, you have a friend who's working in another production company, or somebody who's already freelancing, or maybe you have an uncle who is working in a marketing agency, or maybe it's working in a software company, whatever. Just like think of what people around you are doing. Just tell them I'm freelancing and I'll be really interested in working on a project for your company. If you're interested in that, we can create this video or this design. The point is that you need to start telling absolutely everybody what you're doing. Let's say you're going out somewhere with your friends. Just tell everybody who asks you, just tell them, yeah, I'm a freelancer, I do this and that. Just have your stuff somewhere online, because this is a very big tip, because it might seem obvious, but a lot of the freelancers I meet right now who are not as successful as they want to be, they don't have their stuff online. They don't have their work on a YouTube channel or somewhere in Behance or Dribbble or whatever. Just put it somewhere online if you don't have a website, whatever. Or maybe Instagram. Yeah, Instagram is a very good place to put your stuff. So every time somebody asks you, just tell them I'm doing this, and just show them the Instagram account or YouTube channel or whatever. I know it seems obvious. It's not. A lot of people don't have their stuff online. I've had a lot of job postings where I've been searching for motion graphics designers, and most of them don't have portfolios. So I think you should have a portfolio site if you're doing freelance. So this is very important. You have to be able to showcase your work when somebody asks you, and you should be able to do it fast. So prepare. Presentation is one of the most important things you can do for your business and for your brand. So this is very, very important. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of examples of just stories, what happened to me in the beginning, and this could probably give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So in the start, my brother, he started selling rose oil. I told him that I'll create a video for him. So I created the video for him, and my brother really liked it. All his friends and the other people inside the business, they really liked it. And afterwards, his wife, my brother's wife, not somebody super far from our inner circle, she just asked me. She was working in a software company, and she said, "Hey, Roddy, I saw that you made the video. Do you also make websites? And I was like, yeah, of course I make websites. And the only website I've created so far was the website for me. So I had like a basic knowledge of how to create WordPress websites. So I was like, yeah, I can create it. And she's like, no, we just need the design. I was like, okay, design is even better because I know how to use Photoshop. So I created design. So this is pretty much, I think this is the first job I got. No, it's not the first job, but it's one of the first 3 jobs I got. So, but it's the first big job I got, like for more money. I got the job from there, so I created web design. They really loved it. The first 2 jobs I actually got, so they were from a friend of mine, an old friend of mine. This is actually a really cool story. I went for a beer with a friend, and this other friend that I knew from high school came with us, and I hadn't seen him in probably 5 years or something. And he was there, and we just started talking about what everybody's doing. Of course, I started talking about how I'm going into freelancing, how I quit my job, I came back from London, blah blah blah. And he goes, oh, I'm actually also a freelancer. I'm doing videography as a freelancer, and I'm making these videos for these bigger brands. I don't remember what the brands were, but for some big brands. And I was like, oh, that's super interesting. How do you find your clients? He told me some techniques he's using, just Facebook groups and stuff like that. But he just gave me some ideas. But I started talking to him for a while, and I was like, dude, we should do something together. Next time you have a project, or if it's some sort of animation or video editing or whatever, just count me in. I'm gonna be super happy to help. And I don't know, a few weeks later, he came to me and he was like, oh, I have this client, he wants this animation, can you create it for me? I was like, yeah, of course, man, let's do it. So this is the first project I got. I created the animation for him. After that, I created the second project I got was from him as well. So I created another animation. It was an explainer video. And then was the website. And the cool thing is that actually he grew really well, like into the whole freelancing business. And I also started finding a lot of clients. So right now we're sort of partners, and this is super random. You know, we just met in a bar without we hadn't seen each other in a while. We met in a bar, and right now, 6 years later, we are sort of partners. So every time I get some sort of a video job, you know, we have to go shoot something like, let's say, a corporate video or something like that, or an event video or whatever. Every time I get a job like this, he helps me. He goes and shoot it for me. We shoot it together. And every time he gets some sort of an animation job, he gives it to me. So we create it together. So it's very cool because I have a partner right now that we actually refer each other. And this has brought me so much work, like from him, and also brought him a lot of work because I'm looking for clients as well. So just a quick story. Another example is I went to London a couple of years after I quit my job just to meet with my roommates. And I went there, met with my roommate and her boyfriend, and we went out for some drinks. It was super fun. Again, I started talking about what I'm doing, sharing all my freelance module, what I've been doing, how awesome I am, what videos I've created, what like massive brands I'm working with and whatever. And they got really excited about it. And I came back from London, and in 2 weeks, first the boyfriend of my roommate called me, and he needed I don't remember even. It was some sort of a web design. And again, I'm saying I've created like 2 websites in my life, but he needed some web design. I was like, sure, man, let's do it. So I created a website for him in WordPress. And a month later, maybe, my roommate called me and she was like, oh, I'm working in this marketing agency right now. Do you want to make a new website for us and also support the website for like some sort of a monthly payment? I was like, sure, yeah, let's do it. So these are just 2 contacts I got. Obviously I had them from before, but I went there, I spoke to them, and it was cool because the first person they thought about that could help them was me. So that was awesome. Again, just to recap, tell everybody what you're doing. Word of mouth is going to be the best technique that you've got. Right now, it's 6 years later, and I've worked with loads of clients. And the cool thing is that clients are referring to one another. So I've gotten clients from the previous clients. They, like, let's say somebody is asking the client who did the video for you, or maybe they credited me in the video description on YouTube. But anyway, I found clients through referrals, and it's the fastest way you can start getting clients. It's a lot of work in the start because you have to get the ball rolling, but once it's working, it's on autopilot, and they just start coming from one another, and I get referrals all the time. And I know the friend that I mentioned that we're partnering, he has the same thing working for him. He's not advertising at all. We just get referrals from other clients. Of course, it's beneficial to post on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook about your work. This could bring you a lot of work as well, but I would argue that it's a lot more beneficial to start from your inner circle. Of course, post your stuff at least on your Facebook wall. Also, go ahead and check out my free PDF on how to earn your first $1,000 as a freelance animator. It's in the description below. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.